What the heck is going on, football fans? DF Stu here, and today we're going to be bringing you my That's My Guy video for the Week 12 main DraftKings slate. In this video, I'm going to be highlighting one player from each position that I think is in a really good spot, either due to their price or due to their matchup, or a mix of both. And then from there, I'm going to show you a couple different final lineups with those players. And then I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite overall stacks for the week. Usually I do this video on Tuesdays, but because of Thanksgiving, things got a little bit different this week. I'd been planning to do a Thanksgiving video before Thanksgiving, but then the news about the Baltimore and Pittsburgh game came out, and then I was just hesitant in general to play that slate, and I decided just to move on. Just get ready for the Sunday main slate. I may start doing this video regularly towards the end of the week instead of on Tuesdays. I feel today with much more guaranteed info out there. We know the injuries, we know the COVID situation. Yeah, sure, there's a couple things we won't know until Sunday morning, but in general, I feel like I'm just more informed on a Friday than I am on a Tuesday. So hey, if you don't want to miss this video going forwards, go ahead and hit that subscribe button or hit that like button if you want to. It goes a real long way to help me grow this channel, to let that YouTube algorithm be like, hey, I recognize that guy. I'm going to push him to the top. But that's enough of that. Let's start thinking about week 12. So before I go ahead and start picking any players on a DraftKings slate, I really got to know what the highest projected scoring games are going to be. Which games do these Vegas supercomputers think are going to be the most explosive games point-wise? And this week, we've got Tennessee and Indy. We've got Las Vegas and Atlanta. We've got KC and Tampa Bay. And we've got the Chargers and Buffalo game. Those are the games that are projecting for the most points to be scored. At quarterback this week, we're going to go on the cheaper side of things. We're going to go down to 5,700 and we're going to select Derek Carr. Now, I can't sit here and pull out any crazy stats to prove to you why Derek Carr is a good choice this week. But I can say he's facing the Atlanta defense, and the Atlanta defense is not very good. And I'm not saying that Derek Carr is going to be the highest scoring quarterback on the slate either. There's a very good chance that he's not even in the top 5. But with $5,700 salary, that's going to open up a lot of other options on this slate for us. If I can get a 20 to 25 point week out of Derek Carr at only $5,700, I will be very happy selecting him as a quarterback this week. At running back this week, we're also going to go with a pay down option. We're going to go down to 5,600 and we're going to select Kareem Hunt. At only 5,600, Kareem Hunt seems very mispriced to me. He still has 22 carries since Nick Chubb has come back into the lineup. He still is going to get passing work. Yes, he didn't see so much work last week in the passing game, but moving forwards, he is still their third down back. He is probably the second most talented player in their offense. I can't see a position where Kareem Hunt is not going to get the ball very often. And against a very weak Jacksonville defense at only 5,600, Kareem Hunt seems like a smash play to me. At wide receiver this week, I'm going to go with Antonio Brown at 5,700. The last 2 weeks, Antonio Brown has been getting a ton of targets in the Tampa Bay offense. Kansas City is a tough pass defense, but with Antonio Brown, Godwin, and Evans, I really hope that Tom Brady is able to get the ball into their hands. Antonio Brown seems like Tom Brady's favorite target. It wasn't any secret that he really wanted Brown in Tampa Bay. Pretty much the way I'm going to be approaching this slate is that KC and Tampa Bay is the highest projecting scoring game. So I'm going to have one of Brown, Evans, or Godwin in almost all of my lineups. That's also going to include somebody from the KC side of things. But Antonio Brown will be the guy that I'm going to head towards more often than not on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers side of the ball. At tight end this week, we got to pair someone up with Derek Carr, so we're going to go with Darren Waller. At $6,000, Darren Waller is the second highest priced tight end on the slate this week, but Las Vegas's offense seems to run through this guy in the air. Ruggs has not been getting the volume that I was expecting earlier in the year. Instead, it seems like Aguilar is getting a lot of looks. Waller is the number one guy, however, in that offense. He gets a lot of targets. I think it's just a good play in general. If you're going to pay up at tight end, I think Darren Waller is a good option. Kelsey's there too, but I'm going to go with Waller for that correlation. At defense this week, I'm going to go down to 2,200, and I'm going to select the Broncos defense. Denver is simply the lowest price defense that I feel comfortable playing. They're playing against New Orleans. Maybe Taysom Hill isn't as good this week as he was last week. Maybe the Broncos are able to force some turnovers. But really, at 2,200, all I'm looking for out of my defense is the ability to pay up at other positions. Boom, there you have it. A nice skeleton lineup with lots of money left to finish out this lineup. I'm going to finish out this lineup, but I'm going to use the power of video editing to get us there. So, be right back. Ba-boom, here we go. I paired up Keelan Cole with Kareem Hunt in that same game. It looks like Chark Jr. and Chris Connolly will be out for Jacksonville. That leaves Keelan Cole as their primary receiver. I picked James Conner. His price just kind of fit nicely. We'll have to monitor the status of that game. It looks like that game might get pushed towards Tuesday. So if that is the case, I'm not sure if it will be on the DraftKings main slate still. I probably won't know that for sure until Sunday, but as a placeholder right now, I do like James Conner right there. Calvin Ridley, that is coming from the other side of my Las Vegas and Atlanta little mini stack there. Calvin Ridley, I think, is a great play every single week, and this week especially so with Mr. Julio Jones looking to be out. And then I went with Tyreek Hill to run her back on the other side of that Antonio Brown pick. Tyreek Hill is a freak, you know, he's a great football player. He is so fast. He has the potential to just break a slate wide open. Here's another good direction I think you can take this lineup. Instead of going with Ridley from the other side of that Las Vegas game, I went with Brian Hill. Todd Gurley is ruled out for Sunday, so Brian Hill will be the primary back for Atlanta. I went with this little Keenan Allen and Cole Beasley stack. I like Cole Beasley a lot in this situation, especially with John Brown being out. Keenan Allen's just a dang stud. And then we went with the double tight end approach to get a little bit different this week. That's going to give me a player from the other side of Antonio Brown's game as well. Here's another direction I think you can take this lineup, well, including the most expensive running back on the slate, Dalvin Cook. He's been great all year long. Shouldn't expect anything different against a weak Carolina defense. He's priced up like that for a reason. Sammy Watkins is coming back from an injury. We'll use him to pair up with Antonio Brown in this lineup. And then we are attacking that Tennessee and Indy game. We went with Michael Pittman Jr. and Corey Davis in that game. Hopefully these three variations of the same lineup can kind of show you all the different directions that you can go when you are thinking about building a lineup, especially when you're trying to target some of these high-scoring games. Now I want to show you just a couple of my favorite single game stacks for this week. So here's a nice big stack that I like targeting what looks to be the most high-scoring game of the week. I've got Patty Mahomes in there, which I really, really like at quarterback, but notice the big difference in price as opposed to Derek Carr. You're getting a better player, but it's going to cost you, as always. If you throw minimum price running back Brian Hill in here, all of a sudden you're getting another pretty good running back and a solid option at flex as well. Here's a nice little Chargers Buffalo stack that I like. Once again, if you plug that minimum price Brian Hill in here, all of a sudden you got a ton of options at your other running back spot and flex position. One thing to note about this game is Austin Eckler could be coming back this week. If Austin Eckler is coming back this week, I like him a lot in this spot. He is a great pass-catching running back, and I'm very interested to see what he's going to be able to do with Herbert at quarterback. And lastly, here's a little Las Vegas and Atlanta stack that I like. I like this stack because it allows a lot of salary to pay up for some of these other players available. Well, that just about wraps things up for me this week. I hope this video gets you thinking in the right direction for the Week 12 slate. As always, if you like this kind of content, feel free to hit that subscribe button or leave me a like down below. Until next time, TF Stew out.